Welcome to another video review with me, Ian Williams. But today, rather than looking at it reviewing just a single product, we've got two of Samsung's latest netbooks that I'll be putting head to head. Now, in the world of netbooks, most of the products are so similar it can be really difficult to tell them apart and find out which one's better than any other one. But when Samsung released the N310, the predecessor to these two, it did a pretty good job of setting it apart by offering a solid keyboard and a good battery life for the same price as the competition. Samsung then went on to release the slightly bigger N320 and has now launched these two netbooks, the N110 over here and the N310 over here. Now, at first glance, these two look pretty different, but as you'll see later on in this review, they're very much brother and sister. The N110 has a very standard casing, including the traditional glossy smudge magnet for a lid, but it feels very sturdy and the curved edges do make it look very good. On the other hand, the N310 has a much more pebble-like design with a slightly rubberized casing. It also has these nice covers for the VGA and for the network ports, but is spoiled by this rather massive, unfortunate Samsung stamp across the lid. Now, being aimed at the more fashion, image-conscious market, the N310 is also available in red and blue, whilst this one you can have in any color you like as long as it's black. Now, looking around the edges of both of these notebooks, you'll see they have a slightly different layout, but all the same sort of features. They both have memory card slots along the front, they both have VGA outputs and network ports, and I'm happy to say both use 3 USB ports. When you lift up the lid, you can see that both keyboards are a decent size. In fact, they're 93% of the size of a full keyboard. But where the N310 uses an isolated keyboard layout, the N110 uses the much more traditional beveled keyboard. Both are a pleasure to use with good tactile response and very easy to type on, but personally I rate the N310's keyboard very slightly higher. Now, both keyboards also use a 10.3-inch display, but where the N110 has the very normal looking panel, you just see over here, the N310 uses this very slick flat glass effect. Unfortunately, although it looks very good, all it really does is create reflections. And with the N110, where the problems with smudges and things are on the lid, the N310, that problem just moves around to the inside thanks to this glass front. Under the hood, these two devices are almost identical. They both run Windows XP on an Intel Atom 1.6 GHz processor. They both have 1 GB of memory, Intel graphics card, 160 gig hard drive and Wi-Fi. But strangely enough, neither of them supports the new wireless N standard. The only real difference in the specifications of these two machines is the battery. While the N110 over here packs a 6-cell battery, the N310 uses a smaller 4-cell battery. As a result, this one here is very slightly smaller and a little bit lighter, but doesn't have the same lifetime as its counterpart in the N110. The N110 fared very well in our battery test, actually, lasting just shy of 6 hours when running the Battery Eater benchmarking program. In that particular setup, we had all the power-saving features turned off, as well as the Wi-Fi, and the screen was set to medium brightness. While the N310 with the same setup managed just a little over 4 hours. So we reckon for normal usage, you should be able to squeeze a full 8-hour day of the N110, but unfortunately its little sister over here, you're probably going to be looking for a power socket in about 6 hours. Finally, we come to the matter of price. Despite the N110 having the bigger battery, its recommended retail price is £349, while the N310 goes for around the £399 mark. As I said right in the beginning, these two are very much brother and sister. The one is sexy while the other one is more serious, but under the skin they're almost identical. And while in general I prefer the isolated keyboard of the N310, apart from that, the N110, it feels sturdier, it costs £50 less, and for just an extra 30 grams, you get a much better battery. So I have to say, although it doesn't look as good, it gets my vote as the winner of this head-to-head. I hope you've enjoyed this video review and will join me again soon for another close look at the latest tech to hit the UK.